Welcome to the Akashic Library.
All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to deconstruct a whole story. But here's the thing, it's not from a novel or a movie. Nope, we're talking about an entire narrative, all about desire, intimacy, and even performance that's packed into just 4 little lines. Seriously, just 4. So let's peel back the layers and see what's really going on inside. So think about this for a second. How much story can really fit into just one look? It sounds simple, right? But it's actually at the very heart of what we're talking about today. I mean, how can a single glance, just a look, set off this whole chain reaction? How does it turn something unspoken into an action you just can't take back? Well, we're about to see exactly what happens when a look meets desire. Okay, so part 1. Our story kicks off with this showdown, really, between 2 massive forces. On one side, you've got this cosmic idea of destiny, and on the other, that very real, very human feeling of raw desire.
So the first line just sets the whole scene perfectly. It translates to, when something is for you, it's inevitable, baby. Your desire is noticeable. So right from the jump, we get this feeling that whatever's about to go down, well, it's meant to be. But it's not just some vague, oh, it's fate kind of thing. No, it's tied to something real, something you can see. A desire that's so obvious it's basically screaming out loud.
And right there, that's the central conflict, isn't it? It's this tug-of-war. On one hand, you've got destiny, this huge external force you can't control. And on the other, you've got desire, something super personal happening inside you. The whole story, all of it, happens in that little electric space right where those 2 things crash into each other. Okay, part 2, an intimate moment. So now that we've got fate and desire on the table, the story takes a turn. It's not just about the feeling anymore. Now it's all about creating the right place for that feeling, a private little world for what's coming next. And the next line is key. It says, let's do it as if there were no television or cable. Now listen, this is way more than just turning off the TV. This is a statement. It's a proposal to get rid of all the modern noise, all the distractions, so they can have a moment that's totally pure and unfiltered. And that really creates this stark contrast, right? Think about our world. It's just a constant stream of phone notifications, screens, background noise. What's being proposed here is a rejection of all of that. It's about consciously carving out this little bubble, this quiet space where nothing else matters except the 2 of them. So yeah, the big takeaway here is that this is totally symbolic. I mean, it's not actually about the TV or the cable box. It's about making a choice to be 100% present, to connect with no filters, no interruptions from the outside world. It's a call for something genuinely real. All right, part 3. This is where the story makes a sharp turn. All that tension we've been talking about, the fate, the desire, the private space they've created, it's all been building up to this one single moment. And we're about to see suggestion turn into a straight-up command. And what was the trigger? The text tells us exactly. That look is the culprit. See? It all comes back to that first glance we talked about. That one look, that single nonverbal signal is what makes everything that happens next feel, well, not just possible, but absolutely inevitable. And then we hit the climax. She told me, don't think about it too much and give it to me. Wow. That's it. That's the point of no return. Any hesitation, any doubt, it just evaporates. It's replaced by this direct, impulsive command that just slices through all the overthinking. And that's the moment, sin dudas. Without doubts, the time for thinking is officially over. All that's left is action. But wait, the story's not over. Just when you think it's reached its conclusion, we get to part 4. And this is where a really fascinating twist comes in. We're about to explore what happens when a super private moment suddenly isn't so private anymore. So first, we get this really intimate look at her internal experience. The line says, by her face, you can see she savored it. This is all about her personal satisfaction. It's a private, genuine moment of pleasure, and you can see it right there in her expression. And then comes the twist. The neighbors watching and the balcony opened. Just like that, this intensely private moment goes public. And pay close attention how that's phrased. The balcony opened. That doesn't sound like an accident, does it? It sounds like a deliberate choice, a choice to let people watch. So this creates this really interesting final conflict. On one side, you've got this pure internal feeling of pleasure. But on the other, you have this external, public spectacle of being watched. It raises so many questions, right? Like, why would you turn an intimate moment into a performance? Does being seen change the feeling itself?
So when you really break it all down, these 4 lines are just humming with tension. You've got the dance between destiny and actually doing something about it. You've got the clash between wanting pure intimacy and, well, exhibitionism. And finally, this really complex relationship between what you feel on the inside versus what you perform for the outside world.
And all of that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Does making a private act public somehow make it more real? Does being watched by others, even strangers, validate an experience, or maybe even make it more intense? It's a pretty wild thought to end on, and amazing that it all comes from just 4 short lines. Thanks for digging into this with me.
What you desire reveals what you believe you lack. Transform the belief and desire transforms too. Next, understand the hidden cost of connection in Detachment versus